Hello there, everybody. Welcome to this new moon manifesting meditation and world service. And it's all about the sparky energy of Aries. So if you're new to me, I am Rosanna. Welcome. I am RozyGlow. I channel the frequency of divine grace and support people who are awakening starseeds to harness the power of their 5D consciousness in this changing reality. So if you like the sound of that and you want to subscribe to Grace, then please go along and subscribe and hit notifications so you know every time another video is coming up. I am going to be seeding star peace with every one of these co-creation meditations moving forward. So co-creation is a form of manifesting, but it's who are we co-creating with? Well, I intend always to co-create with the highest good of all, our higher selves, the version of us that have already created what we want to in our lives, and also the win-win-win in everything. So if you like that, then please hit the like button. It really helps. And I don't know how you've been feeling. We're going to start with a little cacao blessing. I'm going to talk about the crystals that have been coming through today as well, a lot. But essentially, there's been a lot of sparky energy coming up in the last 72 hours. So the new moon is actually tomorrow. It's in the early hours of the morning for us here in the UK. But what is coming is the opportunity for us to ignite our desire fire and burn away that which is in resistance to what we want to create. So what is really important for us to remember is we are co-creating a new reality. However, what happens if we are trying to co-create from the person we are, the being that we are now, is we're always co-creating from the past, the future. We can't help but do that because that is how we're programmed to be. You may have heard of the subconscious. It's 90% more effective or more powerful than the conscious mind. So just consider how powerful your willpower is and imagine how much more powerful, 9 times more powerful, subconscious resistance can be. And this is what we're here to clear. So in these manifesting meditations or co-creating meditations, I give you a sense of what is possible, the feeling vibrations that we can anchor. And then what happens is resistance comes up. So we use this time to love up our personal and collective resistance. And then we go about using the tools that we have to anchor the new vibration in our lives and keep meeting the resistance with love. For those of you who've already done deep work with me, my coaching work, either through Fearless, Empowered and Free to Be Me or Superconscious Co-Creating Method, you know that clearing our conditioning and reprogramming it is one element. But the next bit is fine-tuning and blind spot discovery, which, if you know me well, you'll know that the brighter the light, the more powerful the shadow can be. It's seeking to hide its intention. So we all need to call in the qualities of compassion, accountability, discernment, transparency, acceptance, allowing. There's all sorts of elements, but mercy and forgiveness are very important as well. And that's what we work with here. So it's Christ consciousness. And we're all here to awaken. We're awakening at different times. But a starseed who awakens then needs to know how to be able to live in this reality whilst the old world is coming down, co-creating the new world. And we can't do that from our conditioning. We need to access the vibrations in our heart of the frequencies of what we already want to attract, and then shift our mindset, the conscious mind, to align with that. And that's what I do in my coaching. So if you're new to this, it all starts with a breakthrough call. I'm very open at the moment to bringing in more fearless, empowered and free to be me beings. So if you are wanting to get to the place where you are no longer the conditioned version of you, but you are able to access your divine spark and live it in your reality, then that's what it's for. That's the group experience. And if you'd like to do one-to-one with me, again, this starts with a breakthrough call. So all the links are below in the subject box. Please do go ahead and link up. And why not join my community? You get a free star salutation prosperity practice if you come along and join the RozyGlow.com community. And this is where you start to get a sense of what can happen as you activate your light body. I want everybody to feel free of the burden of lack, one way or another. So whether it's lack of money, lack of health, lack of time, lack of love, whatever it is, lack of self-worth, lack of feeling deserving, is all conditioning. And it starts from before we've even been conceived. But let's not go there right now. Let's just know that in rewriting history into HerStory, we are remembering the original blueprint of planet Earth, which we've been calling Gaia for some time. But something I heard recently is that the 5D frequency of Gaia is actually known as Huna. So if you resonate with that and you can feel that, then you can always, talk about Gaia or Earth as Huna. but we are here to remember who we are, what we're here to do, and to get on with our particular part of it, okay? And that's what we'll be going over a bit today. I had a vision about how history could be, or her story could be shared in schools, and I wanted to seed that with you, and I will explain a bit more about Star Peace in a minute. Let's just do our co-creation, or our calling in the Divine Mother, aka the Cacao Diva, through our hearts first. Those of you who are here, please do say hello. I'd love to know who's here, and if you have anything that you really want to be witnessed, then please put it in the chat box as well. Above me is a very powerful manifesting symbol that comes through, and this is part of the divine grace frequency. So bringing the cacao up to our hearts. If you haven't got any, we all start this way actually. Just have a little rub of your hands, have a little shake. That's it. My hair's all over the place. And then bring your cacao up to your heart. If you haven't got any, you can bring your hands to your heart. Let's take a moment to close our eyes and welcome everybody into this space who is here with the live or will be catching up with the replay later. Remembering we're all soul tribe, we're all connecting to our star families, we're remembering who we are. And with your nose, draw a circle in the air in front of you, so you are creating an energetic boundary, your sphere of compassion. This keeps you safe. Everyone who's attracted to my work is an emotional empath, so learning to contain your energy is important. Go the other way with your nose as well, knowing you're creating a portal. And then move up and down with the nose, so you're connecting to Source and to Huna, Gaia, Earth, through your core line, your inner lightsaber. Good. Now breathe in. As you breathe out, turn your head to the left, witness the past. Breathe it away, let it go. Remember, it's not who you are, it's just what you've been through. And then inhale, center, being in the present moment, the power of all that is. And exhale over to the other side. So seeding positive expectation into the future. Just how wonderful can life come to be? How wonderful it is already. And being excited about the changes we want to see in the world. Inhale, center. And exhale, bow to your lovely inner heart. Bow to the divine spark within you and let the smile in your heart find you. Just let that beam out into your energy field. To all of our divine human beings that are connecting with us now. And we invite Mama Cacao as the frequency of balance and harmony into our space, into our field, knowing that she's a very gentle teacher, healer, guide, who will show us the doorways we need to go through. But she won't push us. It's up to us. We have our own free will, and that's a really intrinsic aspect of the lessons of planet Earth, or Huna. We have our own free will. The hand is never forced. We might be challenged, but the hand is never forced. We invite this blessed, beautiful energy in to guide us today into how we can reflect on our history or her story differently. Become more aware of the stories we tell ourselves that seem to define who we are. And invite our own capacity to break free from this. You can bring your head neutral. I'm just going to send the sound Ma into the earth so that we can activate our earth chakras, which are very, very important for manifesting in the physical reality. That's with the sound Ma, so it will purify and activate. And then the sound Om will go through to our soul chakras above the head to activate our divine consciousness to flow through us. And the sound An from our hearts, An, A-A-A-N, is to connect each of us in the higher heart, the divine human heart. So when you're ready, deep breath in. Ma. Welcoming your breath as the source of all that is being breathed into you. When you're ready, breathe out and gently open your eyes. Come back. Welcome. Hey, Liana, good to see you. Kalimera. Kate, lovely to see you too. Okay, so whilst we're drinking our cacao, I just want to remind everybody that last full moon was the last live stream I was doing with the full moon. I am intending to bring up the full moon meditations. I will upload them. That's the idea. We'll see, but they won't be live anymore. So you'll be joining me once a month live for us to set the seeds, the StarSeed seed for us to grow over the month and then do the work. So what is Star Peace? Well, you all know about the various trilogies out there that are all about this epic adventure called Star Wars. And it's been coming to me for a while, this idea that people just haven't even thought about writing Star Peace and what Star Peace would look like. And this is very much down to the fact that we have got a global addiction to adrenaline, to fear. It's been conditioned into us for so long that coming out of that is going to take a lot of practice. Now, last full moon, what came up as the main word, the anchor word for everybody, was equanimity. You know, being able to hold your center, whatever's going on, so that instead of your happiness or your success being defined by external circumstances, what the newspapers say, are we safe? Are we not safe? Have we shifted? Haven't we shifted? You know, all of that being down to outside forces. We're able to anchor our vibration and hold it no matter what is going on around us. And we also became very aware from that full moon to this new moon of what are the various scenarios that seem to disrupt us and take us off our center, and to make decisions, which may well mean stepping away from certain relationships, changing our habits. It may also be down to looking at career changes we can make. There's all sorts of things that can happen, but it's like, what is robbing you of your peace? What can you do about that? And what can't you do about that? So God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference is pretty sound advice. And we can change a lot, but it's all internal. It's vibrational shifts. And when I work with my clients and I see their phenomenal successes, it's because they own something inside of them rather than trying to change something on the outside. There's a lot of grief release going on in the field at the moment, okay? There's all sorts of triggers that are bringing up deeply suppressed grief, and also patterns of behavior that we might not be aware of, but it's like, I have to show up this way. This is my role. This is what I have to do. And I'm inviting you every stage of your evolution to question what that is, because the more we drop our self-identity as who we are, and the more we connect to the unified field, the easier it is just to receive without doing, but we still have the groundwork to do. So this new moon, the key word is actually resilience. It's being able to just keep at it. Doesn't matter what external things happen. You know you're anchoring the light here on earth at this point. You know you're here on purpose. You're here to be able to fulfill a destiny that you have chosen for yourself on a soul level. And none of us have come here to suffer and to struggle in this lifetime. We have come here to liberate ourselves from suffering and struggle. But learning how to do that is really about being able to reach out and ask for help, but reach to those who already have what you want. That's very important. It's not about looking to be saved. It's about learning new patterns that you haven't got in your field because you haven't got it in your experience yet. Those are all the areas of your life that don't work for you, that aren't easy, that take a lot of effort. And that's what's important for each of us to work with in this life in order to have results that we want to have, okay? So I will read out what this is all about, but I just wanted to say that what's been coming through today is labradorite, and this is a really, really good crystal for being able to practice discernment and to separate illusion from truth. Being able to navigate the shadow can be really challenging, and anyone who is evolved on that path knows humility is essential because what we see outside, we see inside too. So all the villains in the world today are all aspects of your own shadow, and all the heroes in this world today are all aspects of your divine human self. So, you know, we need to remember where we have strong emotion, that it's a healing opportunity. And not one to usually quote Tony Robbins, but he's got something wonderful to say about surprises and this idea that, you know, we love surprises when they seem good, they seem in our favor. But a surprise that we don't expect, we call a problem, and we don't like problems. However, problems are blessings in disguise. They're opportunities for growth. These are the banks of the river that we need to reinforce for our own essence to flow and our own journey to be graceful and easy. That does require work, willpower, resilience, commitment, the effort to not give up when something becomes challenging, and to know when a part of you is actually trying to pull you away from where you most need to go, all right? And all of this, it comes with practice. It comes through the inner teacher reflecting with the world around. And if we all practice this, my goodness, what a world it would be. The other one that's been coming through is the Divine Blueprint, aka Celestite. Okay, this came off my big piece last time I cleansed it, and I get to take it with me wherever I want, so I'm trusting that. And to connect us to the joy, we have some citrine as well. So these have really been very powerful for me, as with the peacock, or this one's with pyrite. So if you're interested in crystals, you can get in touch. I source ethically sourced crystals and crystal grids. Same with the cacao. So you can just get in touch. One of my team members will, oh, which one have you got? One of my team members will be able to get in touch with you. All right, let's just read this out. Which one have you got, Cherie? Tell me. I'm just going to read, and then I'm going to get into what we're going to be doing. So, in our little collective at the moment, we've had a lot of sparky energy, okay, the last few days. As I said, there's been interesting conflicts coming up in relationship, and it's a reflection of our inner masculine and the feminine, and which bits still need healing, okay? So with this Aries new moon, we are being gifted the energy of fire to reignite hope, passion for change, and our imagination, which is the key to co-creating a new reality, a new and better reality. So history is the imprint of the patriarchal system of control on our collective psyche. And this is like, it's in all of us. You can't control it. It's something we've inherited. So don't even try. If you're claiming it's not in you, you're in denial. Sorry, we've all been put under this for the last 10,000 years, if not longer. So it's there in us. It's there in our field, and it needs loving up. HerStory is the antidote. It's the gift of Divine Mother unconditional love. Now, unconditional love doesn't mean just do whatever you want. It's I love you anyway, but look at this and look at this, because this isn't serving your highest good right now. Go into it. I'm here with you. Whatever happens, good or bad, I love you. Do the inner work. The Divine Mother doesn't just go, oh, have an ice cream all the time, right? She is sometimes going to be forceful. She's sometimes going to lead you to some bitter pills or some medicine that doesn't taste so nice. But in going through that, when you actually embrace it and you learn it, you'll be able to move into a more liberated space. And when you've truly learned a lesson, there's no need to repeat it. You may revisit it, but you'll revisit it from a different perspective, and you will notice just how far you have come. And also what happens is, you know, something's shifted because your outer reality shifts. Things that have been difficult become easy. Where there's been an absence, there is a fulfillment. And that tells you where you've done that work and you've graduated. But there's always final exams before you graduate to the next level. And it feels like you're being hit left, right, and center with testing, tests. There's been tests on boundaries, tests on speaking our truth. There's been a lot of fear of speaking truth lately because there's so much censorship in the collective. If you speak out and dare to speak out against the common narrative right now, you're basically being persecuted and shut down. And this has always been going on. It's just very acute now because we're in an acute healing crisis phase. So again, as I said, it's very important to know that the light has won, to know that star peace has been decreed in our universe. That is what's going on. And this planet will align with that, is aligning with that. And the vibration is going to be shifting all the time. So we're all a little battle worn, as I said, tired of the same old charade being played out both personally and collectively. This new moon energy gives us permission to rest and repair so we can be re-inspired. So what do you need? What do you need to just be able to get back out there again? What reassurance do you want to give yourself? How would history be taught in the new earth paradigm we are collectively co-creating? Imagine a world where we're all taught in our education systems the origins of our ancient and forgotten civilizations. Our StarSeed origins, how and why war ever came to be on this planet, and the ensuing enslavement of our planet and its inhabitants. Until we remember to free ourselves. So can you just imagine, all around the world, there is an agreement to teach the origins of this planet, to teach the ancient civilizations, go right back to Lemuria, Atlantis, even before that. Obviously, these are creation stories, but when we look at the various creation stories that are in our field collectively now, we go to the original creation story and we say, look, this is what was intended for this planet. And then we went through all of these different stages where we went from having free will to not having free will and having to claim that free will back, recognizing that this is our divine birthright anyway, but you don't realize that you've lost something until it's gone and you need to claim it back. So this is when we become conscious of what was always there, but we didn't know was there. And it's only when something gets taken away that you realize how important it is. So we are collectively choosing something new. Imagine if we were taught how warfare actually came to pass in the first place. Like, imagine the idea that we were taught that warfare came from external civilizations, not even from this planet, that it was seeded into our consciousness, that the men needed to separate from the women, that the men needed to go away and fight to protect. Yet the protection was already happening in the family collective, right, in the family unit. And how could we teach our children so that they don't need to repeat history? They can actually acknowledge her story and learn from the past and learn to be autonomous, accountable beings so that we don't have to go back into these pain stories again. Imagine being seeded, like what it means to actually have conscious, loving relationships, respectful relationships, how when we respect ourselves, our own emotional state, our own psychology, then we can respect others. And also imagine being taught how to deal with triggers, how to deal with the shadow when it shows up. Imagine being able to look through the history we have been taught around the world, but actually the way it's taught is from the higher perspective now rather than the national perspective. It's very interesting. I mean, I've lived in different countries and I promise you, like, I have seen history taught in very different ways from different perspectives in the countries that I have been part of the education system. So there's always a perception slant. And what we're wanting to do now is to see ourselves as a global village. That doesn't mean we give up our autonomy. It just means that we recognize where we are all similar and also where we are different. So we celebrate the different stories, but we learn from them rather than just teaching history in a dry way, geography in a dry way. And like, this is what happened, this is why it happened, because we're not learning to connect the lessons of the past to the present and the future. And depending on, you know, different science that's come out recently, but also looking at the ancients, in the American Indian tradition, whenever decisions are being made, they're always made from the perspective of 7 generations forward. What is going to be the impact on them? And we're also learning that trauma can be passed down from at least 7 generations before, if not 14, that has been reflected in certain animal studies. So it is our time to clean up the trauma of the past and to learn how to teach the past in such a way that we don't have to keep recreating it. So Star Peace is your invitation to rewrite the narratives in your life, right? Whatever your history is, if you turn it into her story, what would be the ultimate lesson from what you've been through in terms of you creating something new in the new reality? And anything you don't like in this world, if you do see a headline or you see something's happened that you're really angry about, frustrated with, then you can rewrite a narrative around that and say, I am now co-creating the reality where X, Y, Z happens instead of the other stuff, right? And this is the invitation to use your creativity, your consciousness, your imagination to take from what you don't want, what you do want, yeah, to have that inspiration of what you do want. And in that place to then deal with the resistance that comes up. Okay, so imagine being taught how people have been manipulated, controlled, and indoctrinated through fear and scarcity tactics so that we would know how to stay free and learn from what once was without needing to repeat past lessons. Would this be a more exciting and helpful understanding of existence here on our mothership, Gaia or Huna? One that captivates our imagination and awakens our potential to grow and thrive through love-based actions. How do you tell yourself how your history has shaped you? Apply the same principles to understanding your own backstory and awakening the desire, fire for change, motivated by your higher self. So what negatives can you reframe as positives? So the resilience necessary for healthy growth is cultivated. These are the lessons of this lunar cycle ahead, and we will be given plenty of opportunity to approach the old in a new way. The heart longings we have and the pain that we currently feel lead the way. It's a very powerful manifesting time, this particular moon. So it's 3 times more powerful than usual. So alignment and discipline are essential. If you focus on what you don't want and keep focused there, if you keep focused on your old narrative, if you keep telling yourself that you're the way that you are today because of what happened then and because of this and because of that, you're going to stay stuck there. How about giving thanks for the challenging situations? I'm not saying that we're grateful because we went through tremendous pain, but grateful for the growth that can come from it. And that's what we want to do, is to seek the opportunities to grow from every experience, whether we want to define it as a failure, right? Or we want to define it as a waste of time. That's just your psyche. Nothing is ever a waste of time. It will define more clearly what is really important to you and what you want to align with. Okay, so join me to love up your hidden resistance. We're going to change this history into HerStory, okay? What does that really mean for us? What does it really mean? It's going to mean allowing yourself to remember that whatever you know is this much, and there's so much more around it. Some of us were here, the original creation of this planet. Some of us have the energetic memory of creating this planet. Pause for cacao. So you can imagine how frustrated we are when we see what's going on around it, going, this is not the way it was meant to be. So remembering there's so much. I mean, you can go on Gaia TV. There's so much about our ancient roots that we can discover. And even if they're all stories, it's about taking the best, leaving the rest. It's about remembering we have soul memories, not just our cellular memory that comes through our bloodlines. And we're here to remember why we're here and to help create this new earth. So what would it look like to live in a society, for example, all around the world that is governed by common law rather than statute law? And what would it look like for us to be able to educate in such a way that we don't indoctrinate? We actually encourage free thinking, new ideas, fresh perspectives. What would that be like, and how much of that is going on in schools at the moment? Just something to think about. I feel as though it's going to be useful at this stage just to go into the co-creation, but I'm going to pull some cards for us all. So at the moment, I would invite you just to consider, what are the stories that you want to let go of right now? What are the stories that you want to let go of right now? And you can write them down, okay? I made some notes the other day, which if I can find them, they will be relevant for today. Let's see. If they're not, but the main thing is, what are you really scared of? Okay, what are you really scared of? And if you know what you're really scared of, then you can create a new narrative from it. No, they don't want to be here, that's fine. And from that, what you're really scared of, what do you want to create instead? And how would it feel to you to create from a place of just receiving, like setting an intention, and then what comes to you, trusting that that is aligned with where you want to go, and then making the commitment to see through your own resistance as you walk that path. But you allow things to come to you. As you put the energy out, you have to align with your higher self first. Otherwise, it's just your ego self that is bringing things through, okay? And the ego self is really requiring of our love, like it's really requiring of our love. However, what's with that is the fact that we do need to recognize that we listen to that wounded part of us very, very frequently. And it's time to be able to say, you can come with me, but I'm not staying back here just to stop you feeling threatened. It's time for us to grow into a new version of ourselves. Do you want your upgrade? So they transmute as you transmute. Right, let's see what's going to help us to rewrite this narrative, both personally and collectively in our lives. Well, the heart of the matter is this idea that we have to make a choice between being materially successful and spiritually successful. So materially wealthy and spiritually wealthy. We've been taught this, lack, scarcity. This is the patriarchal system that says there's not enough for everyone. You've got to fight for your bit. And Who cares who you tread on the way? Just do what you've got to do. It's a dog eat dog world, and you have to basically, survival of the fittest, right? And it's not true survival of the fittest, it's survival of the most cooperative, those that adapt through change. This is about not feeling like you have to sacrifice material success, material comfort for spiritual success. And we've all been taught that that's what we have to do. So the block to this, the shadow element that's making it really hard for us to let this go, is our incapacity to connect to the divine mother, the cosmic mother. This is the cosmic mother. It's not the earth mother. She is the star mother, the StarSeed mother, our soul mother, right? She's there to help us unconditionally to align with creating this physical reality. We need to let her do it. And if we've lost faith, lost trust, if we've bought into the masculine, wounded masculine concept of God, for example, we're not going to be embracing this. This is magic. This is blasphemy. This is all sorts of things that don't go with the narrative, okay? So here and now, what we're doing through our co-creation today and our world service, let's just see. Embracing our fear. So Archangel Michael, his sword of fire, his beautiful shield of love light, and through accessing the courage to move through the fear, we burn away the resistance. Okay, we love it up, and that's what we're doing today. And what this leads us to as an outcome, love you, Michael, thank you for coming in. The outcome for our collective and our individual endeavors is, oh my goodness, you cannot make this up. Beautiful. So these are Leslie Sloan's cards. She's a phenomenal being and a friend of mine too. And what this is remembering that the golden chalice is within. Solar plexus to the heart expression. You'll see the rainbow flame around it. Also, there are peacock feathers, and this is about transmuting poison into divine nectar. So everything we judge ourselves for, we're able to move beyond the judgment into self-acceptance and forgiveness. Wow. All right, well, let's do this. Feels like it's a powerful time for us to get started. So if you need to shake your body a little bit, go for it. I'm just going to get this recorded on my phone as well. And let's see what's coming in. So remember, you don't need to know the details. You just need to be willing to show up. Okay. So this is our new moon in Aries, co-creating meditation, manifesting meditation. And take a moment to rub our hands together. Have a little shake. And bring your hands to your heart center. Make sure that you're comfortable, your spine is straight. Let the smile in your heart find you and let that beam out into your energy field. Welcome your breath. As you welcome your breath, welcoming with it all of the codes of your divinity. Just let yourself breathe into the fullness of your being. Even if you feel empty, you're breathing this consciousness into the fullness of your being. And then drop your awareness down through your body, giving permission for the mind to become the witness of this experience, the faithful servant of the heart. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way. I mean serving the intentions of the heart so that we can evolve our fear-based desires, our egoic desires, our unmet need desires into our soul desires. And remember what we truly want out of what we think we want. From this place, drop an anchor down through your body into your earth chakra. That's about 3 foot below the surface of the earth. You can imagine that there's a beautiful crystalline grid around the earth. If you know the flower of life formation, it looks like that. And there's also beautiful, the sphere of compassion around you is made of trillions of little spheres. The walls of the sphere are all spheres within spheres, spinning on their own axis. And connecting now to compassion, the many qualities of compassion: kindness, forgiveness, discernment, accountability, transparency, unconditional love, acceptance, allowing, boundaries, honesty, moving beyond judgment. And allow the boundaries of your skin to soften. Let's invite the Divine Cosmic Mother to start to activate the codes that are to be transmitted today. So from the very center of the multiverse, the cosmic womb, sensing now as a beautiful cascade of stardust flowing down through our own Mahatma, which is all layers of our consciousness, spiraling through all of the various stargates or portals, the suns, the local source points of universes and galaxies and solar systems. Just let this move down through your being. You may notice it's like liquid honey. You may get a color come through. Whatever it is, trust it. Just let it flow down through your body. Soften your pelvic floor. Soften the soles of your feet. Let's move into your earth chakra and around the planet. And allow this cosmic stardust to gather in the very center of our earth, whether flat or round. And as it centers there, it activates the heart and the womb space, the desire fire, and the passion for change within Gaia herself, or Huna. And as the center of Mother Earth starts to glow, that glow spreads outwards and moves up through your own body, your legs, your pelvic floor. Take a moment to activate your earth chakra and then your root chakra. Imagine this love light stardust in your root chakra. And as the root chakra spins, moves up into the sacral chakra. And this is lower belly. The deep, dark cave of non-judgment is the womb space, whether energetic or physical. Just bring your love light in there. Bring the stardust into this space. As it fills up, it will move up through your solar plexus. And this is where we'll find a lot of the wounding. So just activating this chakra. Breathe deep. And now moving up through the heart. Beautiful. Now let that move all the way up through the throat, third eye, crown, and soul chakra. Know it's happening. Well done, everyone. That's beautiful. And let's put a sphere around all of us, everyone who's here now and everyone who'll be listening to the replay. As you feel yourself activated, you can release your hand. That's absolutely fine. Now create a small sphere in front of your face and let it float in front of you. Know that it's spinning. And let's start with the easy bit. So we want to let go of history repeating itself in any perceived challenging way, negative or challenging way. So what I'm inviting you to do now is to send into the sphere your consciousness any and all current beliefs regarding how history is repeating itself. So whether it's what's going on in the division, the divisiveness in Israel, and the pressure to basically segregate those who are vaccinated from those who are not, whether there are links to what's going on now in the world and people's perception to what has happened in the past, Nazi Germany and the Holocaust. Some folk are really seeing some parallels there in terms of the segregation, and you could also say apartheid is another part of that. Releasing from our beingness. So you're breathing this into the sphere in front of you. Any conscious or subconscious memories around propaganda, around how we're lied to through our channels, our media channels, and also censorship, which people who have lived in countries with heavy censorship, in communist countries, for example, know very well when they start to see the same tactics being activated in a democratic society or a perceived democratic society. So release from your being any and all sense of history repeating itself to humanity's detriment, to Gaia's detriment, to Huna's detriment. You don't need to know the specifics, just release from you the memories and expectations. The cellular, molecular, atomic and subatomic memory, the physical, etheric, emotional, mental and astral bodies, from our photon stream and quantum field. That's it. Wow. So you can see all these like little dark spots are just coming into that sphere now. All of those stories that have been seeded. My last live stream, I talked about the Easter live stream about everything that has once been pure has in some way been infiltrated. So all the infiltration of what was once a pure, beautiful expression of the divine sacred mother and the divine sacred father. So releasing now the imprints of patriarchy from every one of our energy centers, from every layer of our beingness. You may want to bring your hands to your lower belly. And again, support this inner cauldron of yours. And as you release, you may see it as black smoke, as grey smoke, as cobwebs, as tar, as ickiness. It could have more of a putrid color to it, like a neon, like something like that is radioactive. Whatever comes to you is being released. And all the time we're receiving that lovely stardust from the cosmic mama to help purge from our beingness what is in resistance. And please allow, it's not going to come through your body, but it's going to go directly up from the earth. You're going to witness it into the sphere in front of you. All of the times that our beautiful planet has been raped, has been abused, has been pillaged, has been mined, has been in any way attacked, and out of alignment, out of respect of the inhabitants of Earth and the Earth herself being in a beautiful symbiotic relationship. So all the times, all the ways that we have stepped out of alignment in our connection with Mother Earth, with nature, the animal kingdom, the mineral kingdom, the oceans, the plant kingdom, all the species on this earth that have suffered at the ignorance of man. So releasing the imprints of warfare from our collective psyche and our individual stories. Just take a few deep breaths as you breathe out, breathe into the sphere. Let that sphere get bigger and bigger to contain everything. And now let's release from our consciousness all of the lies, all of the misperceptions, all of the dogma, and all of the conditioning. It is basically indoctrination that we have received from our education and our education systems, or our children have received, or our parents have received. So we know that facts have been distorted over time, and we are just willing to release those distorted facts from our collective and individual consciousness. We know that history keeps getting rewritten, right? You only have to search Google and Wikipedia to see how the story changes. MSN, another example. So now all of those rewritten narratives that were more deception, more control tactics, more smoke and mirror, good, and whatever has been deemed a conspiracy of any sort. So there's a lot of the pot calling the kettle black going on at the moment. So anywhere that the finger has been pointed, where there's been a projection that you've witnessed, it's basically involved either an individual or a collective not owning something, just projecting it outwards, not seeing their blind spot. That's it. Well done. Wow. Okay, so there's a very complete sphere there. So keep letting it spin and allow the release to be from every layer of your being in all space and time. And keep allowing Gaia to release into that sphere too, without it moving through you. Beautiful. Now we'll bring down divine infinite love. So this is a pure, clear flame that neutralizes everything to pure 0 point energy. So you call it in. I am the infinite love flame. I am the infinite love flame. I am the infinite love flame. Let this flow down from the cosmic mama through all the layers of your being, around Mother Earth, into her heart. Wow, that's it. And then into the sphere as you pull it up through your body into the sphere in front of you. So remember that 0 point, that's really powerful, is raw creative source energy. So we're going to flavor it, we're going to color it. I'm going to bring down now the victory flame. And this is like a golden stardust that has colors of the rainbow scattered through it, but they are like a rainbow that you'd see in a puddle. They're kind of what I would call the peacock rainbow. So it's not a pastel rainbow. It's very strong gem-like frequencies that cut through distortion and illusion. Just bring that victory flame down through you. Wow, again, very powerful. Anchor it into your earth chakra and around the earth. What does it feel like to be victorious? What does it feel like to see a huge shift right in front of your eyes, to witness it and say, yes, this is amazing? And it could be a shift in your personal life, but it could also be a shift in the collective. Do you want the newspapers to say? And give yourself permission to release, all of that education system conditioning you've received. But all of the schools you've been to, all of the educational establishments you've been to in the sphere. Again, you don't need to remember them all, they just go in there. And they're loved up by that infinite love and by the victory flame. The very strong fuchsia flame of divine delight coming through as well. Just let that come down. I am divine delight. I am divine delight. I am divine delight. It flow through you. Send it right into the heart of Gaia. Let it explode like a love bomb around the earth and through our bodies. So this is where we ignite that desire fire. This is where we can claim our sword of compassion with Archangel Michael, our shield of truth. Oh, yes. Beautiful. Okay, so now as though you're looking at one of those shaky snowflake things that you've got a building in there and then you shake it and all the snow is all around, or all the glitter's all around, but you just imagine this little sphere in front of you. Make it as big as you want it to be, but just imagine you're looking into it now. And you're seeing the creation, like we're all the elders looking down, and you're seeing the creation of HerStory, of the deep respect that we seed into every society, every culture. That we honor nature, we honor our humanness and our divine consciousness. We empower our youth rather than disempower them. That we're able to share the past and past pain from a perspective that we learn from it rather than keep recreating it. And we unite again the heart and the mind, so we're not dysfunctional. We're not just seeing things with consciousness but no compassion. So whatever scenes you see in there, whether it's seeing children being happy, learning in natural environments, learning in buildings that are feng shui, that have crystals that protect against electromagnetic frequencies, where we're fed organic food, where we're not given all of the white flour products and sugar products that cause us problems. As we come into the world, we're left untouched. We're not pricked and prodded with synthetic bits and bobs because apparently we need them. Our vibration is so high that the current medical approach is pretty much unnecessary. We understand vibrational medicine. We understand birthing from within. We understand conscious conception. We understand conscious parenting. We've all learned to reparent ourselves. And we see our young thriving. We see ourselves thriving. Ah, beautiful. And whatever situation is there, like this is the manifesting power, that we hold the vision, we energize that vision, and everything around us aligns with it. So allow yourself to have a vision for yourself as well. What do you want to see in there? What do you want to energize? Amazing. So just give yourself a sense of that feeling vibration, of it being graceful and easy to receive what you want and need. Beautiful work. Okay, so when you're ready, we're going to anchor this. So just watch that vision, see all of us around the earth holding hands, from our hearts energizing this sphere, this healing, this star piece healing of his story into her story, honoring our roots, growing into harmony again with nature. Anchor, lock and seal, recalibrate, align, balance and harmonize. For graceful and gentle integration and full expression in our physical reality and all relevant dimensions of our beingness. Gorgeous. So we're all around our sphere. We each have our own sphere, but effectively it's a collective sphere now. We're beaming this love and light into it. Whatever colors you see are there for you to witness, whether it's the divine delight, fuchsia, the victory flame of the golden stardust with the peacock frequencies running through, the rainbow frequencies. Whether it's the infinite love that you're connecting to more. Just imagine now that from your heart, the energy that's beaming means that the sphere expands. It expands around all of us. It expands into our sphere of compassion. It becomes the sphere of compassion to replace the one before. And we're all drawn into that sphere and find ourselves holding hands. And it's as though we are in the very heart and womb of Gaia, of Huna, the very, very center of the earth. We're seeding star peace here. We're seeding earth peace. So you can take that seed from your heart and plant it in the seed of Gaia, the heart of Gaia. And at the same time, we are fully expanded, divine energy, looking into the earth, looking around the earth, holding the boundary around our free will planet, knowing we have released the bondage of the patriarchal old history, loved it up, and now we're seeing the seeding of this unconditional love collective, being able to apply the pressure necessary to allow this change to take place with resilience. We are resilient. Being able to hold our center while everything rearranges itself around us, not freaking out that things are being rearranged. That's what we've called in. It's okay. You don't need to stop the flow. Just let it happen. So as above, so below, so within, so without, it's all here. We are the microcosm and the macrocosm. You can feel your breath move in and out, pulsing the spanner of the universe, pulsing the spanner of this planet and our own personal expansion and contraction. So owning our divinity, owning our humanity, owning our compassion, I'm commanding an axitonial alignment for us individually and as a collective with the star piece, HerStory, vision. From this place, we can say together, I command this process continues until completion. Anchor, anchor, anchor. Recalibrate, align, balance and harmonize. For graceful and gentle, integration and full expression. In our physical reality and all relevant dimensions of our beingness, in all space and all time. I am a magnet. I am radiating love, light, and I am a magnet for all that is in alignment with the highest good of all. I am a channel of the win-win-win in everything. I am divine grace. I am that I am. Well done, beautiful ones. Very gently start to breathe your way back. Breathe in through the soles of your feet. Breathe in all the way up through your being till you're ready to open your eyes. Hello. So I totally dropped down. Gently come back, come back, come back. We are complete. Good. All right, my love. So as you come back, those of you who'd like to share your experience and what you saw, I'd love to hear about that before I toodle off for the rest of the afternoon's activities. As you're coming back, just reminding you, please do join the RozyGlow tribe, rozyglow.com. You'll get a free star salutation practice, which is phenomenal for getting you into the divine prosperous flow. I can't tell you how much my life has changed and my relationship with prosperity, sustainability, like wealth growing and being able to be of spiritual service, but also take care of my material needs. It's really, really been a life changer. And that's what I teach, right? So we want to help the world. We can't do it from an empty cup. And we all have different ideas about what abundance would look like in our lives, what enough is, but just imagine you've got plenty. You've got plenty to be generous with. And so you can put all of your hopes and dreams into action, but it's like so much is done for you. You don't have to over effort. So please do let me know. Those of you who are coming back, how was that for you? Did you get any messages? And remember to use this Aries energy to transmute what you don't want into what you do want. So everything that happens that is something you don't want, that is your springboard to say, well, what do I want instead? And anchor that, affirm it. I am now choosing in my reality that X happens, right? Or Y happens. And again, just a reminder of these beautiful cards. So you don't have to choose between material success and spiritual success. We do need to connect to the divine cosmic mama and call her in, invite her to help us ascend and understand our higher mind. We can invite Archangel Michael to transmute fear in our lives and show us where we are fearful. We're telling ourselves, well, porcupines, we're pretending we're not. We're saying, no, I'm fine. I'm not fine, I'm scared. What am I scared of? Well, Archangel Michael will tell you. And this is just the most beautiful presentation of the universe within. So in our hearts, everything we seek exists within our hearts. But it is a vibrational state that we need to align with. Okay, and that vibrational state is not the absence of something, it is the feeling of already having it. Now, how can you cultivate that feeling if you don't have an experience of it? You have to borrow off other people who do have it and have a sense of something to work with. And that's where your imagination comes in. So, as I said, these are Leslie Sloan's cards. I'm going to have several boxes. So if you're interested in purchasing and you're in the UK, I can send them to you and you will save on the postage and packaging. If you're in Europe, you will need to go through my website to order from the US. And yeah, there's quite a charge for them, but they are so powerful. They're the only cards I actually work with now. So I'm not getting any feedback at the moment coming through. What I will do is I will toodle off and say goodbye for now, reminding you that the next co-creation meditation world service will be in a month's time with the next new moon. And that new moon will be, what's after Aries? Taurus. So we'll be building some strong foundations. And then we go into Gemini. Oh, the joys of Gemini and the mental body again. Thank you for the like. That's great. If you have got anything you want to share about that, please do use the text box and you can always comment on it later. And yeah, if you're ready for your Awakened Starseed journey, now's the time. Get in touch. It's perfect time, springtime, to be able to really learn how to co-create the new reality, to thrive at a time when others are struggling. You know, for myself, my team members, we've all had an amazing year. Our income's gone up. We've all been able to serve, to do what we're here to do with love, and to navigate through all the challenges without it having a deeply negative impact on any one of us. We've done a lot of world service and a lot of service for our families as a result as well. So that's through the work that we've been doing in the coaching arena, the Fearless Empowered Free to Be Me program, which I think I'm going to now start calling the Fearless Loved Up and Free program, because that's what it does, teaches you self-love. Anyway, lots of love for now. Take care, beautiful ones. Have an amazing weekend, and I will see you soon.